Today I'm going to show you how to draw a male comic book hero and work on some shading and some hair as well. When I start drawing a comic book hero face, I put my pencil in a vertical position. I make a very rough circle. Then high point, low point. We'll make there we go, there's finally a line. That's my nose line. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit further. Then I'm gonna make a line across the middle. Notice how rough this is. I don't care, it's fine that it's rough. I'm gonna erase all of these lines by my final draft. This is the eyebrow line, this is the nose line. This is gonna be the eye line. And then the nose is going to be down here at the base of the nose line where it reaches the bottom of the cranium circle. Then the mouth is going to go somewhere around here. The eyes in the middle of these two line segments, about equal distant from the nose line. The mouth should be as wide as the eyes. The chin, I'm going to bring down some straight lines here. I'm going to kind of cut off the ends of the circle. Pardon me. And then I'm just going to kind of connect those maybe with straight lines to make it easier. And then a broad neck coming down. And the neck, the thicker it is, the stronger they look. The thinner they is, maybe they are younger or, not as strong. All right. So this is what I call the frame, and this is what I draw for students all the time. I forgot the ears. The ears go from right below the eyebrow line to almost the nose. Up, hit the eyebrow line, come down to almost the nose. There we go. So this is your basic realistic person frame. And I wish I could reach through the camera and draw these for all of you so you could go from here. So I always start with the eyes. I'm going to make some circles there. And you might notice from my other lessons that these circles are smaller because he is a big man. So he's got, his eyes are relatively smaller. Then I'm going to make these straight lines at the top. And once again, if you've seen my lessons before, I'm building the eyes simultaneously, both of them at once. Bring these down to the eye line. Okay. And I will round these lines off when I go to my ink. And then I'm tucking this underneath the upper lid. So the upper lid is a little bit longer than the lower lid. Now for the eyebrows, you'll notice that some movie stars and male models, I guess, I'm going to give these two lines, again, to measure how far away they are from the nose line. And I'm going to go up and hit that eyebrow line. He's got a very determined look about him. Okay, these arched eyebrows. I'm going to make them thick and taper them just a little bit on the back end. You don't have to. You can also use kind of a straighter eyebrow. It doesn't, there's all sorts of eyebrows you can make. Now for the nose, this guy has a long nose, kind of like me. I'm going to make a line there, as if the light is coming down from this corner, and this is going to be like the shadow going up to his eyebrows, and then down here I'm going to make these two little parentheses on either side of this V. So a V with two parentheses, and then I'm just going to kind of round this out a little bit, just to kind of hint to my viewer that is a human nose, like the soft part of the nose. So add a little bit more shadow there. This is called a laugh line. It starts from behind the nostril. The older your person is, the longer those laugh lines are, and they go to the edges of the mouth. Now, the mouth, you want to make sure it's closer to the nose than to the chin, and this line is too straight. So I want to give it a little bit of a curve right there. And then I'm going to bring it down to the ends of that line. And you can really experiment with that bow to the mouth. Now you could leave it there. You know, if you look at an older star like Bruce Willis has very thin lips. I might just add like a shadow underneath them for his lower lip. But you can add a thin upper lip. And your upper lip is longer than your lower lip. And if I want to, I can lengthen that lower lip. But I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Okay, we've already made a lot of progress. And if you've made it this far, great. And if yours doesn't look like mine, that's okay too. Remember, our goals are to make simple structures that you can reproduce at home and to have some symmetry in our faces. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to my ink pen. I use a flare pen with a thin felt tip, but you can use a Sharpie, any kind of black pen you want to. And I'm just going to add curves to my eyes instead of all those straight lines. It's like a guide. Then I'm going to draw those irises, the colorful part of the eye. I'm going to add a little reflection going to my light source. Then add the pupils, the totally black part, in the middle of the eyes. Okay, so there you can see a close-up. You might want to add some eyelashes, but that's up to you. I'm going to ink. And I'm using some pen flicks in this case, where I just gently release the pen as I push hard, then release, push hard and release, a pen flick. Now you want to be careful not to add too many lines here, the bridge of the nose, too much shading. You don't want to bring it all the way down to the base, because, like, you know, have a real long nose like that, and then the base of the nose like that. That's too much of a shadow. That's too strong. That would work for some kind of comic strips, but this is supposed to be like a comic book hero. So quasi-realistic. So I go real easy on the strong shadow lines. Okay, and I know I'm going faster than many of you. How I go this fast is I just keep my eye where I want to go with the pen. So I'm going to add some lines out there because this guy is very fit and doesn't have a lot of body fat, so he might have some dimples out there because his cheeks are a little hollow because he's so thin. Or not thin, he's trim. Then I'm going to add some cheekbones up here. Okay, they're roughly the same size. And if you have a chance, look in the mirror today or right now, take your hands, put them up near your eyes, feel your cheekbones, and you can feel how they support your cheeks. And your cheeks are soft, but until you reach that jawbone at the bottom. And again, if you're able to look at some pictures of, you know, some superhero-like people, they have these strong jaw lines, which I call a square jaw. I'm sure I didn't come up with that phrase myself. Back to the drawing. So I have my cheekbones, then I make my chin. Maybe I add a little shadow here to show where the chin begins. I bring down the cheeks from the cheekbones, and then I connect the dots. Now, I'm going to add some curvature here and some curvature at the bottom so he doesn't look totally like a robot. And then I'm going to add curvature at the bottom. A little Adam's apple shadow. Some shadows for the muscles in the neck. Okay, we're really making progress. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of room for hair here. Then I'm going to draw in those ears. A little bit of room for hair for his, those are called sideburns. And then I'm going to draw another line that implies the cartilage on the top of your ear. And then another little line here. Maybe just stop there. Maybe you want to add one more line, but don't, again, just like the nose, don't add too much detail. You don't want your viewers focusing on the parts of the face that show no emotion. Okay, we're almost there. All that's left is the hairline. So when you draw the hairline, decide how high up you want his forehead to be. And then we're going to start with the sideburns. So I'm just going to make this kind of straight line here. I know, kind of robotic. And then I'm going to make it really simple for you. You just go up and over. Now, you might be saying that doesn't fit the contour of his head. His head is round. I know this is a curved line, but you've just made a straight line, you know, all these straight lines. But that's for your guide. Then you can go back and you can add curves and cut off the corners. And that way you can assure some symmetry. Maybe you can add a little corner here near the edge of the eyebrows at the temples. You can also add a little line down here, maybe a very broad V for a widow's peak. That's what that's called. And now I've gone from that nasty box to a more realistic hairline. So this is the interior hairline. Now, I'm going to split this guy in half. And on this side, he's going to have the hair of an African-American gentleman with tight curls. So not this. I'm not doing that. I'm going to make an organic shape. And his curls are going to be tight near his head, near his scalp. I'm going to put too close there. There we go. And then as I get towards the top of the head, I'm trying not to make a pattern, but I'm going to back away from this line so his hair gets a little bit longer as it gets towards the top. Now for his inner hairline, I can add those same curls, right? These curves, they're not curls. But I might have some little squiggly lines going up. There we go. Okay, to show the flow of his hair. I don't know if I like that one right there. That doesn't kind of go with the flow. But maybe he's combed his hair or brushed his hair back a little bit. Okay, and then I would take a dark brown or a black colored pencil. I would sharpen it so I have a broad area to work with, and then very lightly press down, making these circles. And this is how I do all my shading. And it's especially good with a wooden pencil. Now this is gray, so you won't want to color, like on your finished draft, you wouldn't want to have him to have gray hair, unless he's old. Okay, and then maybe add some more shading back here to show that the head curves around. And I'm just pressing very hard on my colored pencil. Okay. Now, the other side, he has straighter hair. So with straight hair, I'm going to have a part. So I'm going to pick where the part goes. The part's going to come across with showing the curvature, the contour of the head. The hair up here is going to go that direction. The hair on this side of the part is going to go that direction. And I'm just going to make this big V, upside down V. And then I'm going to make them very smaller V's as we get towards the side of his head. And then just come down behind his ear. So the hair comes in front. And then at the part, I'm going to make them go in the opposite direction. And this guy's going to have longer hair, so much longer V's. Okay. And then I might color that in with a light brown or a dark brown, depending on his hair, or maybe a yellow. I think this one has straight yellow hair. They're kind of creepy in my book. So then I would get a different color and maybe add some sideways where I'm holding the pencil differently. You can see how I'm holding the pencil. Okay. So there we have one face with two different ethnicities just based on the hair. And of course, how I'd color it in. All right. And we're done. That's the end of today's lesson. Good luck, everybody, and have fun.